This week's test gun is the Airarms S510 Carbine in Super-lite, guys. It's certainly an airgun that I'm very fond of because it's based on the same action as my Ultimate Sporter. But this version looks a lot more traditional. It's certainly a very handsome airgun, so let's take a look at some of its features in a bit more detail. The stock is ambidextrous, but you probably wouldn't tell from its handling because gun fit is exceptionally good. I believe it's made from poplar and it's available in several different finishes. I particularly like the capping on the end of the pistol grip on this version, which gives it a nice touch of class. The high raised cheek piece ensures that your eye is properly aligned with the scope, and the fore end is nice and long. The panels of checkering cut into the fore end and pistol grip look stylish and help to create a secure grip. The only change I might like to see is a deeper cut away from my palm and a thumb scoop because I like to shoot thumb up. Nonetheless, the stock design and balance of this airgun make for very good handling. The Super-lite weighs less than 3 kilos and is 95 centimeters long. Although it's an adult-sized airgun, it's relatively light and should be comfortably manageable for most shooters. I expect a high standard of finish and engineering from Airarms, and that's certainly the case here. And this gun isn't a brand new test sample. It's been used as a demonstrator at game fairs and shooting shows. It's still in pretty tidy nick, which I think proves that it can stand up to some heavy-handed, unforgiving use. The scope rails straddle the magazine, which is set low enough not to foul your scope unless you're using exceptionally low mounts. Although they don't offer the longest mounting surface, they're well positioned and should accommodate most scopes without any problem. Apart from enhancing the overall looks of the S510, the barrel shroud also helps with sound suppression. Consequently, it's quite a quiet air rifle. However, it's also threaded to accept a silencer if you want to hush the muzzle blast right down for stealthy hunting. Air filling is via the Airarms Quick Fill system, which features an integral dust filter and a very secure T-bar lockup. From a 190 bar fill, you can expect around 70 shots in 177 caliber and about 90 in 22. There's no regulator, but shot-to-shot consistency is still very impressive. Keeping an eye on air reserves is simple, as there's a clearly marked gauge sunken into the underside of the stock. It's very discreet, and all you have to do is roll the gun over to read it, which is certainly safer than looking down the barrel on models with a dial at the front of the cylinder. To load up, you draw back the side lever and pull out the 10-shot magazine from the side. It's very easy to reload. You just drop the pellet straight in and there's no spring tension to work against. Once it's full, you push it back in from the side, return the side lever, and it's ready to go. That side lever action is fantastic, and it's positioned in exactly the right place. It's fast and very easy to use. A quick backwards and forwards cycle cocks the gun, indexes the magazine, and probes home the pellet very smoothly. The manual safety catch is located within the trigger blade, which I don't think is the best place for it because I don't like having to fumble around near the trigger when I'm trying to make a gun safe. Nonetheless, there's no denying that it's easy to reach and easy to operate. You push the button in from the left to make the gun safe, and then push it back from the right when you're ready to fire. The two-stage trigger is excellent. It's extremely predictable and the blade feels very comfortable in the finger. On this one, there's a distinct stop at the end of the first stage and the second stage let off is very crisp. It's also fully adjustable if you want to tweak it exactly to your liking. Well, I think that's most of the main points covered, so in time-honoured tradition, I'm going to put out a target at 25 meters and we'll see what it shoots like. Well, we're lucky to have a relatively wind-free day today, and as a result, the 177 caliber test gun has practically landed pellet on pellet for that 5-shot group at 25 meters. Frankly, I'm not at all surprised. If you take a look at the results from any high-level airgun competition, you'll probably see Airarms guns taking those podium places. Now, that accuracy is just as important for hunting, so you can feel very confident that this airgun is certainly going to cut it out in the field. So, the Airarms S510 Carbine Super-lite is a great handling, very accurate 10-shot PCP that's also nice and light to carry. This version has an SRP of £751, and although that doesn't make it a cheap airgun, it's also not an outrageously expensive one. And when you take into account its features and performance, not to mention the reassurance of the Airarms brand, this is a serious airgun that offers very good value for money.